So, how did I reinvent myself age 60? Yes, I am 60. Okay, so I'll just do a brief introduction, just to introduce myself so that you have a little bit of background where I'm coming from. Don't worry, I'm not going to go all the way back, but I will start roughly just in my 20s, 30s, so you have an idea of, what I was about. So in my 20s and 30s, I spent most of my time working in offices, and I got married during that period. So I, as many of you probably know, that I didn't like working in offices at all. It just wasn't me at all. It didn't suit me. I didn't like the schedule. I didn't like the whole uh, the way of life really in the office. For example, if you need to go to the toilet, you have to basically ask to go to the toilet or a bathroom, whatever. If you want a lunch break, you couldn't go for as long as you wanted. You had to come back a certain time, you had to clock in a certain time, you had to leave a certain time, book holidays. There's all that sort of thing I didn't like about it. I think I'm a bit of a free spirit, and I just didn't like those sort of constraints. Then there's the office politics, there's the gossip, and there's the gossip, and I always think, if you're around people who are gossiping to you, then, they're likely gossiping about you as well, so best avoid it. And of course, there's the rituals, the birthday rituals, the cakes would come round, and I'm not a cake fan at all. Very rarely will I have cake. It's so, I would try and bring in fruit, but it's not really perceived in the same way. You've got to bring the cream cakes. Okay, so that's what I did in my 20s and 30s, basically. Office work, and I went to university in my early 30s, actually. I went to university as a mature student, and I studied sociology and with elements of psychology. So I did that for 3 years. Did very well. I actually enjoyed the course, to be honest. I did actually enjoy it. It was quite very interesting. My tutors would say, "Oh, you would be good at anything," because I'm the kind of person that would get interested in anything if I put my mind to it. Because I always think everything is interesting, really. But I think then I had more time, so now I'm a bit more focused on where my interest lies. But I enjoyed the course immensely, really, and I did very well with it. So yeah, it was a good experience. As a mature student. I was travelling back and forth to the university, so it was obviously a different experience to what younger students would have. But it was nice actually being with all different age groups. There were people in their 70s, 60s, all kind of age groups, and you had 18s. So yeah, good experience. And then after university, I did some teacher qualifications. I got work, hardly surprisingly, because there was a shortage of teachers. So I was more or less straight into work. I actually went to train as a further education teacher. So that's really post 14, post 16 education. GCSE level, A level. I did do a year at university as well, the university that I studied at. So that was interesting as well. I did a year in higher education, which was a good experience, So I did further education teaching, did that. I had to travel for about an hour or so to get there. It was quite an experience because I would be very busy on that while I was doing that. I would be a personal tutor, which means I have more responsibility for the students. You have to make sure take care of their welfare, as well as teaching them. And then I would also be teaching access to university courses, which would be in the evenings. So I'd be there at the college from say 9 in the morning till 9 at night. Um, Obviously with a break, but I would be there 9. Then I'd be travelling for an hour home, and get marking after that till probably about 11 o'clock, and then back in again at 9. So that was a very, very busy time, and yeah, needless to say, it did take its toll. Very stressful work, and I started to question the idea of education, and is this education? And I wasn't the only one. There were other lecturers there that were discussing this isn't education. So a lot of issues, but yeah, so that's what I did, sort of late 30s, and then we decided to have children. So late 30s, yeah, I had children. Had 3 children, raised those, stayed at home for over 20 odd years to raise them. And, I think during that time I really lost touch with employment, because for some reason it just went. Each year I thought, I'm just going to stay at home, because I would have one, and then you do up to age 10, then I'd have another one, and another child. So I just thought I just needed to stay at home with them. That's just the way I felt at the time. And but I think, to be honest, during those years I did lose a bit of myself, because I spent 20 odd years outside of the workforce, at home, and it does, there is a sacrifice, certainly. I mean, I didn't have an income. I didn't have my own income. I had very little money. I didn't do my hair, really. I mean, my hair is naturally curly anyway, so I mean, I just left it like this pretty much. In fact, it was probably, yeah, I just left it, and I didn't really get it cut or anything. So I wasn't really taking as much care of myself as I should have been. Clothes, I didn't buy clothes. I didn't really buy clothes. I would more or less wear, I had about 2 or 3 outfits I'd wear, so I wasn't really, in fact, I didn't see myself. I just saw the children, which is not a good idea when you're raising children. You need to really, take care of yourself. Then the children have a role model. So it's just one of those parenting mistakes, that some people make. I happen to make those mistakes, but it is what it is. And yeah, so yeah, I was there for 20 odd years like that. So that was quite something. So yeah, I've learned a few lessons from that experience. So needless to say, when our children are older, in their sort of 20s, the older 2 were sort of, one was late teens, one was 20s. I thought to myself, what can I do? I can't really be like this, because when the children have gone, then you think, well, what do you do with yourself? Been occupying me for 20 odd years. So what do I do now? And so I thought, I remembered that somebody years ago, I used to massage actually scalp, and and I just thought, something that sounds interesting, and I decided to research a local college and see if they had any massage courses going, and lo and behold, yeah, my local college did have a massage course, and I enrolled, and I did ask, can I just go straight to the massage course, because they were saying that you have to do the level, a whole year of beauty first, and then you go on to do the year of massage therapy. And I was thinking, oh no, I really did not want to do beauty therapy. I really did not want to do beauty therapy. But yeah, I eventually decided, in order to get to where I really want to go, which was massage therapy, I'm going to have to do a whole year of beauty, and then a whole year of the massage therapy. And I thought, okay, so I took a deep breath and just enrolled and said, okay. But I'm glad I did now, because there are elements on the beauty therapy course that I use to this day, like deluxe facials, is on the beauty course. Facials, deluxe facials, pedicures. I do pedicures. Not that many, but I do them, and it's just a nice thing to offer clients as well to have in your bucket list, you know, the things that you can do. So I always say the more skills you have, the better, really. So yeah, I was glad to do it. I mean, there were things that I did on the course that I didn't like at all, like lashes. I mentioned that more than once. I think that really, really was a difficult one because you have to put individual lashes on. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, moving on. What I got from the beauty course was the deluxe facials, and I did manicures and pedicures, which I don't do manicures actually because I'm not that artistic, and nowadays people want acrylics and gel nails, and I don't do those. So I do basic, if people really want a manicure, very basic manicure, but I do deluxe pedicures, yeah, as well as my massage therapy. Yeah, so I did that. Yeah, so sorry, I'm just reading my notes here. Yeah, so yeah, so yes, I I'm just looking at this. Sorry, just checking something. Make sure I missed anything out. Just checking. Just bear with me. Yeah, so I did think very carefully, obviously, before I went onto the beauty course. You know, because as I mentioned before, I did feel that I'd lost some work, some skills. I think I knew I needed some money, obviously, but I didn't feel confident to apply for work. I mean, I would look at some job descriptions, you know, look at a few jobs and think, oh, they will need this super amazing, efficient individual. You know, you have to be this. I'd look at the long list of requirements and my mouth would just like, just drop because I'm thinking, that's not me. You know, I'm not a super duper person like that. That's what I would be thinking. And I thought, I can't do that. Oh no, you know. And I just felt it was just, you know, unrealistic, the requirements they were asking. And I just didn't feel like I had the confidence to apply for many jobs, so I didn't. And I thought, well, you know what? It looks like I'm going to have to be self-employed. And I thought, well, with massage therapy skills, there is a good chance I can be. You know, it's just a matter of plugging up the courage and getting a place, to a studio or treatment room to practice in. And so I did start looking around for a treatment room, and I, you know, qualified obviously on my massage course, looked around for a treatment room, got that. And then but before, sorry, I did that, I actually had assistance from Business Wales, from, you know, I got a grant, which was wonderful, and business advice, which was very helpful. You know, I was taught how to do a business plan, how to, you know, what things you need to start a business, a checklist, and which made it much easier. And there was someone on the end of the phone that I could speak to, which was fantastic. So it was a step-by-step process, and I managed to get through that with the help of the business advisor, which was fantastic. And so, yeah, I got my treatment room. I remember getting the keys to my treatment room, which was fantastic. Then I had to go and buy my equipment. But before that, we decorated. I just wanted to paint the walls a different colour because they were a very bright colour. And I thought I needed something a little bit more relaxing, you know, so I opted for a very light grey. And I thought, oh, well, that would be nice. You know, so it's more soothing for me because I had to be happy in the room as well. And bright colours, you know, it didn't seem to be conducive to relaxation to me. So yeah, we managed to change the colour, and so I got a treatment room, got the keys, decorated, got my equipment, which was fun buying, you know, getting all my equipment. It was quite an exciting time actually, because I think I was thinking only wanting my family to have a physical business, you know. Yeah, I mean, there are other people in the family that rent houses out and things like that, but for me to have a physical location and to have a business was that was new. So that was fun. And yeah, I mean, it's in a good location. I'm on a busy street in the middle of town. And so, yeah, it was great. It was lovely. And I think in a previous video, I do show you around my treatment room. So you can look for that video to have a look in there and see, um, you know, what my room is like. I'll give you a little tour of it. Yeah, so yeah, quite happy about that. So, um, yeah, so I just checking again my notes. Yeah, so yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the day that I actually got my treatment room, I actually a week or so after that, I started to become a bit ill, actually. So it's like, oh no, I'm not feeling well at all. I was just feeling so lethargic and lacking energy. And I thought, oh no, this is the last thing I need. I'm going to start a business and I don't feel well. So I had to sort of rest at home for about a week or so. So, and I was thinking, oh, great. But anyway, when you've got to rest, you just got to rest. So, yeah, after that recovery, then I had the problem of no clients. I didn't have many clients. So I started to do things like, giveaways, advertising on Facebook, Google, which was, Google is very good actually. Facebook was good. I mean, people are interested in free things, um, and it was okay just to get the attention as well, helping people to know that you're there. So yeah, that was a bit of an exciting thing to do. I remember dropping leaflets around locally, and that was just a bit of fun as well. But it's all the things you need to just to get your name out there. So and now I'm happily self-employed. I also work at a local spa. The business is steadily growing. It's I have a steady income from there. Sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down, but it's steady. I always have enough to cover my rent, at least, and a bit more. And and also in addition, like I say, I have work at a local spa as well, which I love. So it's a lovely balance. I'm not in one place. And I say all that to say this is that it suits my personality, which is something that I think we sometimes neglect when we are trying to find work. Something that suits our personality. It's important to find work that suits your personality. And I don't like being stuck in one place for too long. I just don't like it. And I know there are many people like that as well. I mean, there are people who like to be in one place, but I like to, not that I want to be traveling around, too much, but, having my treatment room for a few days a week, and then the local spa for, as and when, suits me perfectly. And, neither of them are very far away from where I live. I mean, my treatment room is 20-minute drive away, and my the local spa I'm at is about 12 minutes. So it's lovely. It's all local. It's easy. Parking is easy. It's not a problem. And so, yeah, this is how I reinvented myself. And I think the thought process for reinventing myself at age 60 is I just started to question quite a few things in my life. Here I am. I think especially when I was raising the children, I'd lost confidence, certainly in terms of employment skills, and I started to just really reassess my life and think, well, what is it that I need to do now? And finding something that I would have confidence in doing. I knew I didn't have the I knew I didn't have the confidence to go and look for employment. I really didn't feel that at all. I felt that would have been quite draining for me. So I knew that it was self-employment that I would have to do. And so something like self-employment, something like doing YouTube channel is it's great. I love it. You know, so it's a matter of just really getting to know you, getting to know who you are, you know, your strengths, your weaknesses. I always say, do you like to work with people? Do you like to work alone? Do you like to work with a few people? Do you like to be in one place? Do you like to be in several places? You know, those are the sort of things you need to really ask yourself in order to reinvent and to find something that really matches your personality. I think that's the most important thing, really, is knowing yourself in life. That's what I've learned. You've got to know who you are and what suits you. And also that, you know, you have to go along with what is suitable for your family as well, because each family is different. So we all have different needs individually, and each family has different needs. So you have to use your common sense basically, and you know, to be guided by your thought processes, if you like, and just having some quiet time, meditative time to think things through. I always say get a journal to think things through, and you know, so that you can put your thoughts down on paper. And I think it's very important for each of us to have that time, really, to be able to reassess, reevaluate. So if you're in a place where you feel a little bit stuck, like I was stuck for a good few years, um, you know, and I think journaling is a good start. It's a good place to start. You know, ask yourself, where am I now? What am I not happy about right now, you know, in my life? What do I need? In my case, I didn't have any money. You know, I thought, well, I need some money to live, you know, to survive. So I knew that I needed to work, but I knew that employment wasn't for me, because I felt myself feeling quite drained at the thoughts of it. So I knew it was self-employment is the route that I had to go, where I can make my own rules, you know, have my own autonomy. Yeah, because I felt that I'd lost that, actually. That's quite interesting, actually. I felt that I'd lost my sense of autonomy, and going into employment would further reduce it. You know, so whereas being self-employed, I do everything myself, you know, so, and happily so, you know, so if I want to paint the room, I can paint the room. If I want to move my equipment around, I can do it, you know, I don't have to ask anybody. So there's that sense of freedom as well that comes with it. So yeah, just going back to your journal, if you can journal and just ask yourself, you know, what is it that you want in life? What are your skills? What are you good at? What would you like to be good at? And see if you can inch your way forward towards, you know, those goals. That's very important. Know who you are. I always say that at the root of everything, you've got to know who you are, because that will come out in everything. You know, whether you're a musician, it's who you are as a person that will come out in the music that you play. You know, no matter what education you've got in terms of music, well, obviously, if you're a musician, your personality will come out in that. You know, if I'm a massage therapist, which I am, my personality will come out in that. My flair will come out. That's why, you know, there's no need to worry about competition, really, because each one of us, although we are similar, we have our own unique personalities, our own flair, you know, and you bring that to the table whenever you do your work. That's what comes out. And so this is why it's important to know who you are, first of all. Find out who you are. And when you find that out, you'll be able to be led to your purpose in life, to your, you know, happier you, basically, because you'll be doing things that are more in line with who you really are. Yeah, so it is a journey. I mean, nobody's arrived, but you know, you're more on the right track. You're on the right track. And so, yeah, that's basically how I reinvented myself, is just by thinking things through, journaling, having I mentioned in a previous video, having a vision board. That's important as well. Just some pictures of what you want to do and just put them on the wall. You know, they can be A4 size pictures, and that's very useful in helping you to focus on what you want to do. So yeah, I hope that's been helpful. Yeah, just make a note in the comments section, yeah, if it's been helpful, and just just make a note of what sort of things you'd like me to talk about, if anything has been useful to you in this video. Okay, so see you soon, and remember, if I can do it, you can do it. Yes, you can do it. Take care until I see you again soon.